Hey Vladimir, you sent me your animation animation reel because you want some feedback. I will. I'm always happy to help if I can. I'll try my best. Hopefully, I will approach this uh, with my current role, which is lead animator on Warhammer, Total Warhammer. Sorry. Yeah, hopefully that will help. The only reason I choose to do this is because obviously this that way I'm talking about what I know and what we are looking for here. But obviously, if you want to apply to another studio or something like that, perhaps my feedback will not be relevant. So this is just kind of like a fair warning, I should say. Hopefully that will still help you though. All right, let's start then. I'll just make a range from. All right, so let's start with this one uh, and walk cycle quickly. All right, so first shot, walk cycle. This is nice, well presented. I like it. I like the little touch on the face as well. Here, the little blow is nice. The fact that she looks on her right is cool. It's a very vanilla walk cycle, but it is nice. There's a there's some attitude to it, so it is cool. It seems like it's looping well. Um, it's nice. Also, you say 60 FPS. This this is nice, although I didn't really manage to see that. Perhaps I didn't pay too much attention because I had to download your video. I didn't pay attention to what was the frame rate. So anyway, it's not pretty important. The only thing I would say on the presentation itself, overall it looks really nice. Is if you have a follow camera, like here on the right, um, make sure that make sure that it it doesn't it's locked. I don't know what it's following right now, but I can see basically the hips going forward and backward. It kind of defeats the purpose of the following camera. So I would advise you to um, lock. I don't know. It doesn't lock as well. I mean, the same feedback applies to the chest and the head. Sorry, drawing with the mouse. Um, yeah, so I'm not too sure why is that, but I would definitely advise you to I don't know, select your hips and lock the Translate Z on the camera. Link the Translate Z on the camera, so that way it doesn't feel like it's a little bit it's a little bit not very pleasant, if you know what I mean. Um, all right, so. I don't have. I mean, you can always dissect the walk cycle. I don't have much to say really. It looks balanced. Uh, Personally, I don't know if it's the rig proportion or something. I find that the um, sorry, I'm always a little bit. Yeah. I prefer the reason I'm hesitating because I prefer drawing with Epic Pen and not really the player of the keyframe pro player. Um, and right now I've got two pens options, so I'm a little bit confused. That's why. But yeah, what I was gonna say is the reason I prefer, by the way, is because I can draw over something that is moving. Sometimes it's handy. Yeah, I was gonna say, to me, the proportion, the length of the arm are a little bit too short. Like the knees are here and the arms are. Oh, sorry. This is a little pop-up. That shouldn't happen. Yeah. Yeah, I think I would prefer So that's what I'm saying. I don't know. It seems like it's a rig proportion. Like I would prefer the hand to go a little bit more like in the middle of the thigh, like around here. That's like if you stand up and you're a normally proportionate guy, your your hands will arrive like mid-thigh, and not here. It just the hand is a bit too. So that's what I'm saying here. It looks a little bit odd to me, but there are way, by the way, if it's the rig in itself, then so be it. But there are way where you can cheat, perhaps lowering the shoulder a little bit more. Although there's already a nice, I mean, that the shoulders are quite the shape of of the shoulders. Sorry, not the shoulders are a little bit already in that shape, so you can't really do much. I guess if you would still try to lower the shoulder even more, it would kind of create. Anyway, that's just something to think about. You could have also like open the hands, that would have give you a slightly more reach, not perhaps not that much, not as much as mouse drawing, but that could have helped. But this is stuff you can't really control, but you kind of have to think about it still to make it like, as appealing as possible. Because if the human eyes just see something that is not used to, or okay, it's a kind of like a cartoony, and clearly it's a CG character, but still, if you have some weird proportion, it's gonna make it kind of hard for you to sell body mechanic because if there's something weird, like yeah, you will not always be able, or the viewer will not always be able to just spot what's happening, but they will sense that there's something weird happening. If that makes any sense. Um, anyway. So on your sorry, on your animation itself, I'm talking a little bit about unrelated stuff, but on your animation itself, yeah, to me it seems fine overall. I like that the head is locked. I like the little layer you've added on top of her looking on the right, like I said. The little blow is a nice touch too. This is cool. Um, she walks a little bit like a guy, I would say, here. I did notice, by the way, this in your demo reel. I think you stated this is keyframe animation and this is mocap. So he, here, I guess it means you have both at the same time, if I'm not mistaken. Which is cool. Like I know we do this all the time at CA. Not all the time, but every time we use mocap, I shall say, we always obviously tweak the mocap a lot, so we never use raw mocap. We push poses crazy or timing crazy. Yeah. So this is cool, but I am guessing this was a man walking in the mocap, right? If I'm wrong, please let me know because I'm now intrigued. But it is nice. The thing I would say from your and again, like nothing wrong with that. Like it could be part of perhaps that's what actually make her give her that attitude, right? The fact that she walks very much like a guy. Why not? Like it's kind of unique. So this is the type of stuff we want to see. The main thing I would say on the body mechanic itself is from your side view here. Can you see my cursor, by the way? I'm shaking it all over the place, but I'll just to make sure on this side view here. I think to me it seems like so. This is now gonna be a bit confusing, but I will need here. Um, so this is your contact pose here. Oh yeah, something I was gonna say is I always like to see like I said the presentation is really nice. The render is looking nice and everything. I see you even have a little bit of motion blur, although I don't know if it's because how I downloaded the video or the compression of the video or whatever. It is a little bit yeah, the motion blur doesn't really it's you can feel it, but you see also like all those layers here. I'm not sure if it's because of the video, right, that I just downloaded, or if it was like that on your rendering. Anyway, but the motion blur, I don't mind motion blurs. I mean, it obviously helps a lot selling animations, so I don't mind. What I was gonna say though is you can put some occlusion. That would have helped. Some either some shadows or occlusion. That would have helped a lot, I think. So yeah. So the other thing I was gonna say on the purely body mechanic, it seems to me that okay, so this is your contact pose. What I think I would have done, she has really long legs. I would have perhaps taking the hips, move them slightly more forward, because if you have a look here, it seems to me that she's a little bit too much on the unbalanced on the back. Also, she's moving forward, so you know, physics and stuff. It means the more you move forward, the more lean forward you have to be. I think in that case it's fine, perhaps because perhaps it's part of the attitude of her being walking, like that. And whoops, sorry, that's that. Um, I should definitely take my pen. Don't know why I'm drawing with the mouse. Yeah. So the even with the pen, it's not much better. Much straight, like very straight, and perhaps you try to have like that sort of like angle here, with the head being like very much locked down. That can make it interesting. Um, but here, I would say that she looks a little bit too much pushed back and unbalanced on this side, if that makes any sense. The rest, honestly, I don't see much to say. I mean, you could have broke down a bit more stuff, like, the wrist, like breaking the, sorry, breaking the wrist a bit more on the returns, playing a bit more with the shoulders. So shoulders should lead a bit more, especially for the type of walk you're going here. Make sure as well that your feet orientations are the same as your knee orientation. You can try it yourself, just stand up on one leg and try to rotate your knee. You will see how much range you've got. You've got a little bit of range, but most naturally you want your knees to, otherwise it feels kind of odd a little bit, like this type of shapes. So as a rule of thumb, I would say it makes things more appealing. And yeah, you don't want to twist too much those areas, or yeah, it starts to be painful to look at, if I shall say so. Um, yeah, you've got also like here, if you look at, oh wow, it's raining like crazy at my place. Um, you've got you could have broken down a bit more the chest and head motion here. You see the chest will start to rotate that way and have some translation, and just see how the head moves at very much at the same time as the chest. It is normal, right? That the head is attached, but we have this the we can just like lock our heads. Um, so yeah, usually the head is very still, and here it's the same here. Well, next shot. Here it's the same. Just look at from that point how quick the head. Oh, sorry, that's unfair. How quick the head will just go. You've got a lot of movement here. So yeah, it seems to me that that walk is very controlled and stuff. So yeah, you want to make her look very controlled. Uh, I mean, I won't spend a lot of time. I could spend a lot of time just very, very nitpicking everything. I shall say as well, I like the rendering you did here with adding the controllers on top. This is nice. but be careful because now I can see that this has controls and it's not really moving. So okay, yeah, fair enough. It doesn't have to shake all over the place and stuff. You did it with the hair. I guess the sword as well. I didn't really pay attention to the sword. Let me see. I guess you did it. Yeah, you did it. Yeah, this is nice. This is nice. But yeah, perhaps add a bit more secondary here, and perhaps on the belt here as well. The rest seems like it. Anyway, this is nice. Um. Oh boy, it's gonna be a long video. It seems like. All right, so now the Doberman running. Start range to current. All right. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Doggy. All right. This is a nice. It feels okay when you watch it. If I just slow it down to 50%, you can start feeling that the front would need a little bit of love, that the head would need a little bit of love. By the way, you've added occlusion here. See how it helps reading contact and stuff? This is much nicer. Uh, so I guess you followed reference, um, which, yeah, no, overall it feels nice. Yeah, so no motion blur here, by the way. Here it looks slightly, the rig looks slightly broken. Also here, I so this leg here is gonna take the whole weight. I mean, he's moving forward quite fast, so anyway, but the whole weight of the body. So the pose, his paw here should I wouldn't recommend the paw to start rolling yet. It seems like yeah, like this looks like the dog is being if I just pose on this pose here, the dog look like he's hurt or something. Something's bad here. This shape here, this doesn't look great. Um, yeah, I would say you need a bit more work on the front, on the four limbs, however you pronounce this, the front part. Um, yeah, yeah, I would say analyze your um, reference a bit more. And yeah, you've got some weird poses here. Yeah, I'm looking at the back right now. The back feels much better. It is very simple. Like here, going from coming from I'm just looking at this pose here to this pose here. It seems like you need more frames. You are working on 24, I see. Um, yeah, I think you could have had a bit, it would have been looking a bit better. Yeah, the spacing here is a bit unlucky, I would say. You're taking a bit too much chances here. Yeah, that's a lot of distance to travel. You have a hold here, so that helps the readability, but yeah. Also, I wonder if perhaps it would have helped to rotate the back pose a little bit more when they are traveling forward. Not sure if they would do that. It looks a bit stiff. I know the back legs are stiffer than the front ones, but still, yeah. Yeah, to me the main thing really is like I think you need to rework that part. That really like those shapes here that they don't look too good. And the main thing is also like when there's a straight here. I don't know. This looks a bit odd to me. I would really need to have like the reference. Sorry, I didn't do that, but it's already gonna be a long video, so yeah, yeah. But this pose here, it doesn't work too well, especially here and then here. Also, you've got the paw in the ground here. That's bad. Yeah. So this is the type of thing you need to look for. If you look at the change of shape here, that's not, and then the bend again. That's a nice pop that you have here. Yeah, and the head is a bit stiff. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's yeah, the head is a bit stiff, definitely. It would need to be a bit more. So either the head is leading, it seems like the head is leading. So have a nice under arc here. I think you can work on that under arc. We should feel the head just like moving more up and being a bit more detached to the chest. Detached than detached. Yeah, detached to the chest. Yeah. I guess you've got here's controllers as well. That please play with that. That would help. The tail kind of feel it's very stiff, but it kind of feel right. So I guess this is okay. Yeah, to me mainly it's the head that needs more work on the under arc. And yeah, yeah, we should feel more here. If you just look at basically this shape here, it's gonna stay the same for a lot of frames. One, two, three, four, five frames. So perhaps there's some. I guess the nozzle of the dog starts rotating slightly upward, but yeah, you need to work on that. Break this down a bit more. So I would say yeah, a lot of work on the front limbs and the head here. Yeah, but considering the amount of the you don't have a lot of keyframes on this animation, so it shouldn't be too hard to fix. Okay, so next animation, that jump. All right. I will not go over as much in detail in acting shots, okay? Because, like I said, I'm gonna focus on what I am looking for if someone applies at CA. So yeah, acting is not one of them. So yeah, okay. So it feels weightless first viewing. Uh, you've got some odd things happening here. Like if you just look at your spacing, you've got that pose here and that pose very close to the other one, and then a much bigger, broader movement. So make sure that everything is smoother. Yeah. I don't know that face as well. I know the face is really small, but this is what I look this is what I look and it looks a bit like yeah, I don't know. It doesn't work quite well here. The expression that she has is very neutral. So if you go for a rig like that, play with the expression as well because I'm sure you've got some nice controllers. Okay, and body mechanic itself. Yeah, so you wanna have this this pose here feels very much like a toy just falling, not a human being. So you want to make it a bit more interesting as well. So I don't know, put some sort of um, a little bit of that a straight here trying to reach and that one here, something a bit more like that. That could help, right? Just like, I'm sorry if you can't really read that well, the pose, but yeah, something a bit more interesting. This is very, very boring. By the way, I'm very frank as you can tell. So I hope you don't mind, but yeah. So this feels much like a ragdoll falling, not even a ragdoll, but like very stiff toy falling. So you want before any land or jump, you want to have the reach. That's you want to have a sorry, not the reach, a straight in there. And to make it more interesting, like I said, yeah, do it with one leg. It's gonna help. Yeah, that and then the land, the impact should. So don't forget that this just take the weight first, the hips take the weight first, and then the rest kind of follows. So you want to just look at how little compression there is here. This should just accelerate, and here it slows down. So okay, granted, she's still in control, she's not dead. So she's gonna contract her body to just roll forward. But perhaps it's the camera view, but here it doesn't work really well. You need an acceleration here, a bigger acceleration up until I think she's in control. She's in controlling here what's happening. Same here. You wanna, I bet in whatever mocap or reference you use, there's one arm that is straight, is before impact, or at least reaching to the ground, because you want to protect your, yeah, naturally you will protect your head. Yeah, there will be, I guess, this arm, which is the one that goes. Okay, actually, they both touch the ground at the same time. Same, you don't want that. You want to make it more interesting. You want one hand to touch the ground first. Okay, and like work on that roll as well to have a nice body shape here. Here it looks again like just like a very rigid toy. Um, yeah, yeah. So I'd say this one not so successful. I would that there would be a lot of things that I would. The only thing I like is the roll here. This feels quite nice, but then from this frame on, it lacks a lot of weight and detail. So yeah. All right. So acting, I can't really say much on acting really. I mean, I don't know if. Oh, okay. Animation layout steps. Yeah, because I was gonna say it lacks a lot of details. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna skip that part. Hope you don't mind. Yeah. To me as well, this shot is a little bit too short. So I understand he just is grumpy. He sees her, and then I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Is he in love with her, or uh, is it why he's doing this? Why is he so shocked? Looks like it looks like she's a queen or something, and he's like, oh shit. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna skip that if you don't mind. Also, yeah, there's not a lot of details, so yeah. All right, animation layout 24 frame per second. All right, I like the poses you went for. I like this idea of the shot, by the way. Kind of simple, but yeah, it's okay. Range and current. There you go. All right, I like this the girl running much better than the guy running. Oh, whatever that is. Is it a guy? No, that's another girl, right? I don't know. It feels much better. Perhaps it's the rig. It looks very similar, by the way, the run. So you could have gone with something a bit more interesting with like obviously this one looks more menacing than the other one, so I don't know, like a different attitude for the run to make it a bit interesting. Also, seems to me that you should continue this shot. It's a bit frustrating that it starts cutting to the other shot because I want to see what's happening. It seems to me, okay, so first on the body mechanic itself, I think let me just have a look at this. All right, overall it feels okay. Not really a fan of that shape here, but why not? And that shape here, the hand shape, seems like she really has the arm very open. This shape here is not great as well. This is quite nice, although same, you could have gone with something a bit more with the line of action, if you know what I mean. Just look at like the, the League of Legends uh, CG animation or whatever. Like you will see they play a lot with shapes and stuff. Like this is a little bit weak. The feet like that as well. You want everything to flow a bit more, right? So you should play with that a bit more. Here it seems like it's a missed opportunity to have a nice strong straight in there. Yeah, but overall it feels okay. The head is a little bit too locked with the chest as well. Could have make it a bit more interesting. I don't know about the hair as well. Seems like I should change color. Don't know about the hair as well, but yeah, it seems like she's running quite fast. All right, and now how it feels playing real speed to me is nice, but I wish I would see some acceleration every time she pushes. So I don't know if it's the camera or whatever, but it feels a little bit too soft. It's a little bit too boring. You need more dynamism. Put more dynamism into that run. So every time she pushes here, so every time she lands here, it's fine to kind of have her not going backward, right? But like slow down a little bit, and then when she pushes, so here from that pose on to here, I want to see like a kind of an acceleration. So if we look at her in the shot, in the frame, I mean, by the way, sorry, she at the beginning, she's very, very close to the border of the shot, right? Should probably here would have felt better, the good old third rules. Here on that point seems better than here. Anyway, um, oh, landing feels a little bit sloppy. But you see here, like, okay, so let's not talk about the landing, but how there's like an acceleration here. That's what I would like to see, you know. So when she pushes, whoa, I want to feel the push. And like I want her to move a bit more. Well, overall, she should be more on the right third here, but every time she pushes, I want her to move into the frame a bit more. You see? Um, okay, yeah. So that's that. Then there's a lot of stuff to work on here on body mechanic and things, but overall, yeah. Let's see this push and slide. Same. You could have made this a little like way more interesting. When she pushes here, you could have gone with like a Um, so like kind of like a hold on here and then like something a bit more dynamic with same her moving forward. Like you should have had more fun on this shot, to be honest. Um, and then here the slide, I feel like she's going back up a bit too early, and here she kind of s stops here. The hips is hitting a wall here, and that's not what we want to see. Okay, granted, she should like here. So if I go with my dynamic idea that I had, like so that was this one here. So like she's pushing, hold, another acceleration here, and then on the slide, like you want to see, and slowly, but still, it should still feel like very dynamic here, here, and then the push, yeah, the push same, like she should slow, and then another acceleration here on the push. Here it looks a little bit too, I don't know, not so agile. Not so agile. I don't know. You should have found like a better, a more fun idea of on the push. Yeah. And yeah, like I said, this one interesting, but very similar wall run. I don't know. Like you should have gone with the Akira run. I'm kidding, but just something different, and like a different timing as well. And I would like to see more of this shot. But I like the idea overall. All right, so reset. I didn't mention that jump here. Sorry, my notes are a little bit all over the place, but same here. See how in the frame she's here, 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 here. That's not what I want to see, man. Like she's jumping, she should move more forward in the frame. Yeah. And the jump, well, okay, so the landing, I didn't mention I did just mention it was slopey. The landing is slopey. The chest is very, whoa, very slopey. And yeah, there's a little bit of Johnny Depp's Pirate of the Caribbean kind of attitude on the hands, on the arms. So why not? Why not? You could have played a bit if that's what you wanted to do, something a bit more like different, then you should have played a bit more with it. Right now we don't really feel that. That could be a nice little touch actually. All right, so let's keep this because it's acting. This seems to me that honestly it shouldn't be in the Demoreel. Same with your first acting thing. First, the rendering and stuff is not that appealing. Is not as appealing as the first one, as the rest of the Demoreel. Sorry. Um, and yeah, it looks too. I think it's not. This is not to your advantage, honestly. Uh, Yeah, I'm gonna skip that one as well. Like I said, acting is not really what I'm looking for. Oh, so there is a following. There is a follow-up to that animation. I didn't even notice. Not sure what that is. Anyway, this is the type of stuff that I see more and more in Demorels, and I think this is definitely fun. Much more fun than copying reference. Yeah, I want, I want to see some fun stuff. Too bad they're not fighting. Anyway, I would put that in the acting category, so I'm not gonna give you feedback on that, but all right. So same, I guess these type of exercises are good to do when you learn acting and things like that, but I don't think it has it's yeah, I don't think it has its place in your demo reel. It's too simple, man. You need to put more work into this, or at least you need to show like the good old stepped here, I mean layout here, stepped here, blocking and polishing here, like your progress shot. All right, and this. All right, yeah, why not? This is nice. Same, I see mocap and hanky stuff. Doesn't feel like the same one as the one that was walking at the beginning. Same character, I mean. Yeah. Okay, nothing special really here. If you put in idols in there, it should be a bit more interesting. Okay, and the next thing I will say is, and I apologize for a very long video, but yeah, I talk a lot. First shots should be your best one, okay? First shot of your demo reel. Then second, I would argue, should be your second best. And then you want to end your Demoreel, so whatever you feel here, and then you want to end your Demoreel with um, your third best shot. I think that's a good rule of thumb for Demoreel. I'll play with those animations, right? But try to structure it this way. The reason is very simple. So first, keep your demo reel short. I think your demo reel is short enough. Although, like I said, I would get rid of a few shots in there. Um, but yeah, play with that. And the reason is when we watch demo reels, obviously we don't want to wait for any climax in the demo reel or anything like that. We just want to see. Most of the time, we've got a lot of demo reels to watch, so if you start with so-so shots, we will be like, meh, like, not be very interested. I think your walk cycle is probably one of your best animation piece, but it's a little bit boring, if I could say so. If you, the walk cycle itself could be a bit more. If you want to open with a walk cycle, first it needs to be perfect, and it needs to, yeah, it needs to I don't know. Yeah, it needs to be better. It needs to be more interesting. So that's that. And yeah, try to keep that in mind. I don't think. And that's it, really. Sorry, I gotta go because I got a meeting soon. But yeah, hopefully that helps. Apologize for the long ass video. Good work though. It seems to me that you've got some nice ideas. You should just continue with that and like put more time into it and look a bit more into details. But overall, I see if you keep working hard, man, you'll make it. You've got some nice animations in you, I can tell. So keep having fun. What I really want to see is this thing here developed, pushed way more. This is the type of stuff that will get you a job if it's like a lot more pushed, and a bit more interesting. I want to see a whole demo reel of just that, man, and like these two girls fighting like crazy. That's what I want to see. So yeah, awesome, good job, and yeah, hope it's helpful. Let me know if you've got any questions. Cheers.